very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1. My name is David Paldano. Now before we head into your stories in more detail, let's first take a look at your headlines.
SLFP and SLPP sign MOU. Maiden rally of Sajith Premadasa at Golface. All set for the LPTL local government polls. Voting to begin at 7 a.m. tomorrow. T20 captain Dasun Shanaka says unity within the team led to victory in the T20 series.
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna signed a memorandum of understanding this morning in Colombo.
Representatives of both parties gathered at the Foundation Institute in Colombo to sign the agreement. The agreement was signed between SLFP General Secretary Dayasiri Jayasekara and Legal Secretary of the SLPP Sagara Kalivasam. The MOU was signed to pledge support to Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna.
We had to debate on where the Sri Lanka Freedom Party should stand in this battle. Some people of our party, including myself, were of the opinion that we must contest separately. Some others said no, we must unite with the United National Party to defeat the Podujana Perumuna. Some others said that we should remain silent and do nothing. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party cannot remain silent. So, with the blessings of our President and with the permission of the Central Working Committee and the Political Council, we began discussions. The grassroots level SLFP supporters should not think that we have betrayed our party. We will not betray our party. We have begun the journey of protecting the country and ensuring the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Some people are thinking that the SLPP and the SLFP have united. We united based on a memorandum of understanding. We will move forward. We can predict the results of the presidential elections today. Through our unity, we can add 1.5 million votes and 5 million votes. We will have a total of 6.5 million votes at the election. We have achieved this victory. There are two people who are responsible for creating this opportunity. The leader of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna and patron of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, and leader of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Maithripala Sirisena. Without these two individuals, this would have not been possible. Both of them were of the stance that these two parties should unite and bring victory to the country and the people of the country. The Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna was born based on the values of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. When Bandaranayake created the SLFP in 1951, he said, "I will only perform the task of a midwife." Similarly, we perform the task of a midwife. None of these people who contributed to these values can be a victim. None of them can be left helpless. It is our responsibility to protect all of them from both parties. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is the first love of our leader as well. There is nothing that I can do about it. He always says that all these people in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party are people who voted for me. So Basil, do not forget these people. But I of course love our party a bit more.
On to political news now. The inaugural rally of the New Democratic Front is to be held in Colombo today.
The rally will be held at the Golface Green under the patronage of presidential candidate of the NDF, Sajith Premadasa. The rally will commence at 2 p.m.
The flowerbud will start to wither today. This will be the beginning of a revolution. The group that divided the UNP, creating issues within the party, will now see the unity of the UNP. People will see the unity of the UNP from the grassroots level to the topmost position to emerge victorious in this election.
The presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, arrived at the Kalani Rajamaha Viharaya and obtained blessings.
The presidential candidate called on the chief incumbent of the Viharaya, Venerable Dr. Kollupiti Mahinda Sangarakit Thera, and obtained blessings.
Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, attended a meeting in Hulsdorf last night.
The Balamandala meeting of the Central Colombo electorate was chaired by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe last night. Party seniors also attended the meeting. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is enjoying the independence of the judiciary and the rule of law created by us. To move forward with this freedom that we have created, we must elect Sajith Premadasa as the president of this country on the 16th of November. If Sirisena from Polonnaruwa won by 65,000 votes in Central Colombo, how much will the son of Ranasinghe Premadasa get? We will make Sajith Premadasa the president of this country by an additional 100,000 votes. This election campaign is not similar to the campaign in 2015. We will have to face many more threats than that time. We must be ready for all of this. We ask your forgiveness. We were not able to do everything, but when the country was being developed during a period of 3 years, we were interrupted from within the government itself. This is what happened. You can see how all of them have scattered here and there. That is why we are asking for a UNP president on the 16th of November for the innocent people of this country. It was President Ranasinghe Premadasa who developed the Central Colombo electorate and made it a stronghold of the UNP. We are protecting the stronghold that he created. Today we are working towards appointing the son of Ranasinghe Premadasa, Sajith Premadasa, as our president. I would like to remind you that we must secure 125 members in parliament after that. After winning that election, we must win the local government elections. The people of this country know that you cannot ensure the security of this country by instilling racial and religious conflicts. We are citizens who love this country. We want to protect this country. If anyone is spreading racism to win an election, they are destroying this country. Some people are presenting themselves as Sinhalese Buddhists and trying to show that the Buddhist culture can only be protected by them. I would like to ask these people how they have served the Sambuddha Sasana of this country. They only gave names to projects done by other people. They did not work for Buddhism, true to their heart. During these past 4.5 years, we as a government had allocated a massive amount of funds for the development of Buddhism. But no matter how much we do, what do these racists say? Buddhism is in jeopardy. What did these people do when they had power? While Buddhism is being strengthened in the country, all other religions should also be given due recognition. They must be given protection. If our country is to be made a safe place, we must have unity amongst us. We must put out the fires that might erupt in the future. That is the responsibility of the leaders of a country. Just because a small faction might do something wrong, we do not have the right to destroy an entire race. When the national security of the country is in danger, we will stand tall and take the necessary decision to fight against it. We have a strong backbone. While addressing the Central Colombo electorate, I would like to say that we will destroy any terrorist groups that threaten national security in Sri Lanka.
The National People's Party presidential candidate Mahesh Senanayake arrived at the Mira Makka Masjid today. The presidential candidate received blessings from the Nizam Maulavi and explained his vision. We are working to achieve what this country has lost for 71 years, be it culturally or in terms of unity. We are working to achieve this during a short span of time. In my 38 years of service in the army, I have met with a lot of people representing all walks of life. I was a fighter, but we must question as to whether we have received what we hoped for in the past 9 years. We have understood now that we must be affectionate towards each other. We must respect each other. An environment such as this should be created, and only an independent president can achieve this. I have only selected a people's power and not a political party. This problem was created as a result of this party policies. In the future, I hope to create stakeholders instead of members. We will take the country forward through the unity of those stakeholders. This endeavor is not something I have embarked on with selfish intent. There should be a peaceful country for the future generations to live in. This country should shine again in the world.
සාමේ සතුටින් ජීවත් වෙකි පරිසරයක් සහ ලෝකයේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව කියන නම නැවත බැබලෙන රටක් නිර්මාණය කරන්න.
In more political news now, the national printer has started to print the ballot papers for the November presidential election.
Government printer Ganga Kalpaniliyanage, speaking in Newsfirst, said the ballot papers are printed at district level with heavy police protection. She added that 17 million rupees is spent on printing the ballot paper and the process should be completed 10 days ahead of the election. The National Elections Commission said the ballot paper this time will be 26 inches in length as 35 candidates are running for president. 15.9,092,092 people have qualified to exercise their franchise at the November poll.
The ballot boxes were transported to the Alpite Pradesh Sabha polls from the Alpite Vocational Training Authority premises this morning.
The Gaur District Returning Officer Somaratna Vidhanapatrana said that the ballot boxes and other items were transported to the centres with full security at around 9:30 this morning. There are 53,384 eligible voters for the Alpite Pradesh Sabha elections at 7 a.m. tomorrow. 47 polling centres have been set up in 17 electorates and 155 candidates are contesting from 5 recognized political parties. 28 members are to be elected to the Alpite Pradesh Sabha from the polls. Counting of votes will take place at polling stations itself. The final results will be released at the Alpite Vocational Training Authority polling station.
On to your local news now. Today marks the 70th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Army. A special commemoration to mark the occasion was held at Golface Green in Colombo today.
The ceremony began at 9 this morning. A guard of honour for Commander of the Sri Lanka Army Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva was also held in line with the anniversary. A commemorative stamp to mark the 70th anniversary was also issued. It is well known fact that at present all Sri Lankans are living in a very peaceful atmosphere with bonds of brotherhood and reconciliation. The responsibility for protection of future security and the country's territorial integrity lies with army personnel both today and tomorrow.
On to your weather update for the day now. Showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island, particularly after 2 p.m. According to the Department of Meteorology, fairly heavy rains of about 75 to 100 millimeters are likely at some places in Sabargama, Central, Uva and Southern provinces and in Anuradhapura, Kurunegala and Vaunia districts. Light showers may occur in coastal areas of Western and Southern provinces and in Puttalam, Anpara and Batticaloa districts in the morning too. In more local news now, the Fuel Price Committee will meet at 6 this evening for the revision of fuel prices.
A source from the finance ministry said as a result of the drop of fuel prices globally, it is unlikely there will be any change to fuel prices in Sri Lanka. Recently, prices of a litre of octane 92 and 95 were reduced by 2 rupees. The price of a litre of super diesel was reduced by 5 rupees. On to international news now. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has said that the US did not give Turkey a green light for its offensive in northern Syria.
Green light.
Pompeo defended President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw US troops from the border area, which has sparked an outcry at home and abroad. Turkey has now launched an assault on territory held by Kurdish-led forces. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the aim was to prevent the creation of a terror corridor on the border. Turkish forces plan to make a safe zone cleared of Turkish militias, which will also house Syrian refugees. Kurdish-led forces vow to resist the offensive and have already clashed with Turkish forces. US President Donald Trump said he would devastate Turkey's economy if Ankara's operation in northeast Syria wipes out Kurdish population there. On to your sports news making headlines now. Sri Lanka beat Pakistan by 13 runs at the third T20 in Lahore yesterday. Sri Lanka is the only team to defeat Pakistan in the T20 series in Pakistan. Sri Lanka T20 captain Dasun Shanaka spoke about the T20 series.
I believed in our team. I believed in them when we left for the tour and I was certain we could win. We performed well against New Zealand in Pallekele. Our team had its momentum. The players understand each other well. They are now used to taking the correct decision. When you play at the international level, there is some sort of fear. Our players are now confident. As a captain, I was able to handle the pressure with the young team. I was not under pressure at any given time. I knew what this team could achieve. The confidence was a key factor. If we have unity and if we have the confidence, we can go a long way. I believe the people will start to love cricket once again.
අපේ මිනිස්සු දැන් අපේ ක්‍රිකට් වලට ඉස්සර වගේම ආදරය කරන්න ගනී කියලා මම හිතනවා.
Well, that is a wrap of lunchtime news here on TV1. For more news, log on to our award-winning website www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm David Paldano. Take care.